Hi there, this is David and welcome to Let's Play Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. Today I'm in the southern Nord Highlands because we have a sheep over here to get, and we have our final sheep over here to get. So let's go ahead and get started and grab this sheep real quick. I'm just going to warp around because we've been here before. Make it nice, quick, and easy for y'all. Ah, found it! Surprised it managed to come all the way out here. This must be our fourth sheep. Yeah, just one more left. Awesome! So I am going to cut over to, where is it? The fifth sheep down here. Sorry, we're going to do something else real quick before we get that sheep. Only because once you get that sheep, you get warped back to the village. And I don't want to go back to the village right now. I went to Zender Gate, and I am back in the, I guess the cafeteria of Zender Gate. And you want to talk to this little girl. You just talk to her right now. It's, she's just kind of saying, how things are going. It's not that big of a deal. But what's really interesting is, if you talk to her a second time after this, then you get a hidden quest. So let's go ahead and do that now. Hey, Gaius. Something wrong, Cheryl? No, it's nothing like that, but would you mind if I asked you something? Of course not. Go for it. Really? Well then, you wouldn't happen to know what Toma's favorite color is, would you? I can't say for sure. I think he's told me before, but I just can't remember. Sorry. Hey, you're the girl who Toma likes to visit, aren't you? Are you planning on giving him something? I thought so. What exactly did you have in mind? Well, I was actually thinking about making him a scarf. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, so that's why you want to know his favorite color. Could you keep this a secret from him? I want it to be a surprise, so please. Of course, don't worry. We promise we won't tell him. Though the issue of what color to make still remains. Would asking him yourself be out of the question, Gaius? I'm not sure that would be wise. It's not really something we would normally talk about, so it might strike him as odd if we ask out of nowhere. Yeah, I can see him getting suspicious. That's not true for the rest of us, though. We should be able to slip it into a conversation without him catching on. He'll never suspect anything like that. Yeah, that should work. Well, let's go ask him then, shall we? Thank you so much. Yeah, we get the quest Connecting Hearts. That's a hidden quest. Where is it? Connecting Hearts. There it is. So, now I'm going to go out, grab that sheep that'll warp us back to the village, and then we can ask Toma about his favorite color. Here he is. Is that one of them? Yeah, that's one of the sheep that we're looking for. This should be the last of them. Alright, we should let Watari know we found them all. Sweet! Yeah, so now we automatically go back to the village, which again is why I wanted to do that other quest first. It's a little bit out of order, but it just makes it a bit more efficient. And I'm all about efficiency. And there we go, all fixed up. Everything should be fine now, I hope. Yeah, they won't be able to get out again. Thanks for tracking them all down. I'm sure they're relieved to be back with their buddies. That certainly looks that way. I'm amazed by how well Gaius led them back here. Likewise, it wouldn't have been nearly as simple a task for the rest of us. It's just a matter of experience. Either way, the sheep are safe now, so here, take this as my thanks. Ooh, more milk. Nice, that'll come from, that'll be good for feeding that cat back in town. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks. Sweet. Finished that quest. Now we gotta go find Toma, who... Let's see, where is he? Oh, he's not that far, but he's over near the trading post, so we can go ahead and warp over there. That should make our quest to get to him a little bit simpler, a little bit easier. Let's see, where are you, Toma? Oh, you're right over here. Okay. Yeah, there you are. How are we gonna slip this in? I would guess his favorite color is blue because of his shirt. Hello, everyone. Did you need something from me? No, we were just impressed by how hard you're working. You've been going at it since this morning. Aren't you tired? Not at all. I'm not quite as strong as Gaius is, but I still have a duty to set a good example for Sheeta and Lily. That's quite the respectable mindset. It must be nice to have a sibling as admirable as yours, Gaius. Well, thanks. What can I say? I'm proud to be his bro. Hey, it's kind of embarrassing to have that said to your face, isn't it? That aside, I'm sort of curious about that outfits that you and the others wear. Are they all handmade? Of course. The fibers used to make them come from our sheep here, and the dyes we use on them mainly come from plants, although we also use a certain ores and soils to color them too. Each color has a specific meaning as well. White represents the earth, blue the sky, and then there's green, which ties it all together, representing the wind and harmony. That's fascinating. Yeah, I didn't realize there was that much meaning behind them. Well, can I ask which of the three colors do you like the best? I think I'd have to go for green myself. The wind is kind of special to us after all. That certainly makes sense. I should have guessed as much. What's wrong? Did I say something weird? Come to think of it, I didn't really give the rest of you a chance to say anything, did I? I'm sorry. No need to worry. You were just answering questions after all. Well, if you say so. Anyway, we should probably let you get back to work. Indeed, we have our own tasks to get back to as well. Yeah, you're right. Good luck with the rest then, Toma. Thanks. Be careful out there. So now I have to go all the way back to the Southern Highlands and talk to that girl to finish out this quest. Oh, hello everyone. Did you manage to find anything out? Yeah, seems like green is his favorite color. Really? Did he mention why? He said it's because green represents the wind to the people of Nord. Oh, that makes perfect sense then. The wind's as special to them as Adios herself, after all. You really care for Toma, don't you? That's not... well, he's an important friend is all. Either way, thank you for asking him. Now, I don't need to waste time worrying about what color to make it. Glad to be of help. I wish you luck with it. Thank you. Oh yeah, I gotta give you guys something in return for helping me out like that. So here, please take this. It's one of our more famous dishes here. Ooh, get the recipe for special pizza. Thanks. And finish up that quest. Now I just have to head over to, what is it? The cameraman all the way in the northern Nord Highlands to, finish out that quest, so I'm going to meet you there. I still haven't finished taking all the photographs I need. Shouldn't be too much longer, so would you mind waiting a bit more? Let's go and wait for Norton to finish. Alright then, we'll stay here until you're all finished up. Okay, I'll try not to keep you waiting too long. Whew, we're finally back in the settlement. Thanks a million for escorting me back here, I really appreciate it. Thanks to you, I was able to photograph the statue to my heart's desire. I'm just glad you made it back safe and sound. Yeah, let's go tell the Elder. There seems to be quite a commotion over there. What? That's... oh, that must be that car from the hermit that they were talking about. Looks more like a truck to me. Looks like there's been an horrible car accident, but why here? Isn't that the gentleman we fulfilled a request for this morning? The very same. That's the settlement's doctor in armor. He couldn't have been the one responsible, could he? Never mind that. We need to go and take a closer look. Oh, I guess it's not the hermit. It's the doctor instead. Amira, are you hurt? Gaius, I'm alright. Sorry for worrying you. What happened here? I was on my way back from gathering herbs in the mountain forest to the north, when all of a sudden, I just lost control of the vehicle. Was anyone injured? I suffered a few bumps and bruises, but other than that, fortunately not. I'm just relieved that I didn't end up hurting anybody. I'm glad to know your injuries were light, Amir, thanks to the winds and the goddess. Still, how does one lose control of a vehicle in an area as open and free of obstructions as this? Did you simply lose your concentration for a moment? No, of course not. This car is extremely important to all of us here. I wouldn't dream of driving it carelessly. I'm still not sure what caused it. When I was nearing the settlement, the steering wheel started to feel oddly stiff. Fortunately, the brakes were still functional. Otherwise, I dread to think what might have happened. I see. Could it be the horrible shutdown phenomenon? Let's see. Alyssa, do you think you can work out what went wrong? Probably. You might say that it runs in the family. How could I forget? It stands to reason that the Skyen and the Rhineford group would be quite handy in mechanical affairs, even if she does pretend she wants nothing to do with her family anymore. Could you mind your own business? What you say, though, it's not as true as it used to be. They have some professional engineers at the Rhineford company now who can't even perform basic maintenance work. Wow, standards as higher education must be slipping. When you compare it to the Zeiss Central Factory in Liberal, the Rhineford group is getting far too big for its own good. All those giant vertically structured divisions, each with their own subdivisions. It sounds as though becoming the Empire's largest corporation brought its own share of new issues. So, have you managed to figure out what the problem was? I think so. It looks like there was a contact failure in the quartz circuits near the engine. That's probably why you suddenly had difficulty steering even though it was fine just before. I see. Do you think that you can repair it? I doubt it. I can diagnose, but I'm no technician. I think we'll need to call in a professional to fix it. I suppose that means we'll have to ask someone from Zender Gate. I'm impressed. I can see that Thor's military academy is more to be proud of than just its famous founder. Elder Ivan, Dad. I'm sorry it took us so long to get here. I'm relieved to see that Norton made it back safely. Thank you for your assistance. Oh, no trouble at all. It sounds like you've been able to work out the cause of the problems here? That was all thanks to Alyssa. It was nothing, really. There's no shame in being proud of your accomplishments. Well, I'm glad we've gotten this squared away. We still have something of a problem. What do you mean? This is the settlement's only vehicle. Having it out of commission is going to make things pretty inconvenient around here. The sooner we can get it fixed, the better. I see. In that case, is there anything that we can do to help? Are you sure? This isn't part of your field study, you know. I would respectfully disagree. You've treated us to such great food and shown us such hospitality. I want to do what I can to help, but actually repairing the truck is a bit above my skill level, though. Still, it would be discourteous of us not to at least make an attempt to assist our hosts. Thanks, everyone. If you insist, we'd be more than grateful for any assistance you can provide. If you could bring out someone who could do the repairs, that would be great. That sounds like the best course of action. Should we head to Zendergate and see if they can spare a mechanic? Actually, I have someone else in mind, someone far more keen than an army technician for things of this sort. Up near Lake Lacrima in the Northern Highlands lives an elderly man from the Empire. I'm sure he'll be able to fix the truck for us if we ask him. True. The hermit could probably have this fixed in no time at all. The cabin near the lake? We passed by earlier, but it seemed vacant. An old man from the Empire who's more reliable than an army technician? Could it really be him? Alyssa. So, you want us to go and call this man for you then? If you'd be so kind. There's no hurry though. If you have any other things you need to do, by all means, do those first. Either way, we'll need to clean up the site of the accident before anything else. Just handle it as you might if this was part of your field study. Will do. Okay everyone, let's finish everything we have left to do, then head up for the cabin at the lake. Lake Lacrima is in the Northern Highlands. We'll need to head north to the Guardian statue, then due northwest from there. We should set out on horseback at once. Okay, awesome. Ooh, the Highland cloth. Let's check that out. See what that does. Where is this? Accessory, there it is. Oh, we have all sorts of stuff down here. Not too great, but there it is, Highland cloth. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. I'll equip that later. Anyway, I'm gonna meet you back up at the lake. Well, at least we've made it as far as the lake. Is he at home? Well, the boat's at the wharf and the garage door is open, so I'd say it's likely. Excellent. We should go see him at once. Okay, well, let's go.
Yeah.
And like I said before, if you didn't catch where I said the fishing spot was, this is the end of that pier right over there on the left. So if you want to fish over there, be my guest. It has unique fish, and I already did that off screen. So let's go ahead and check out these cars, see if there's any dialogue here. No dialogue there, so let's head on up to the cabin and see if this actually is Alyssa's mystery man. I wonder if it's her secret admirer. What's going on here? Seems like there's someone inside. I suppose it must be the man we came to see then. Yeah, I bet he just came back from fishing. For a hermit, he doesn't seem to want for much. So what are we going to do? Okay, yeah, let's knock on the door. Excuse me, is anybody home? It's open. Come on in. Alyssa? Excuse us then. Hey, it's good to see you again, sir. Well, if it isn't Gaius, haven't seen you around for what, half a year now? And little Alyssa's here too. Why, I don't think I've seen your face in, must be coming up on 5 years now. Wait, what? Could this be? Grandfather, what are you doing here? Well, I guess that's one way to be introduced, but let me give you a proper welcome. Gwyn Rhineford. Wasn't there another person named Gwyn in the Legend of Heroes series? I don't remember. Down in like the Gargharv trilogy? I'm kinda thinking. It's been so long, I don't know. Pleasure to meet you all, Class 7. Honored to meet you, sir. I'm Reen. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Emma. You, sis? Ah, promising group of young folks if ever there was one. But you've sure done a lot of growing up in the past 5 years, Alyssa. You're taller and bigger. It does this old man's heart good to see how easy on the eyes you've become. That's gross. But forget about me. What have you been doing out here all this time? Back when you disappeared from war, I'd never have believed if someone told me that this is where I'd find you. Do you have any idea how worried I've been? Oh, come now. I send you letters a couple of times a year, don't I? And of course, I read all the ones you give to Sharon, too. Still! Have you been here the whole time these past 5 years? Just about. I don't stay year-round, though. I spent about half the year traveling around the continent, seeing friends or visiting the Empire. I see. Mr. Rhineford, would you mind if I asked how you know so much about our field study? He does raise an excellent point. It almost seems as though you were expecting us to pay a visit. Well, it's just a coincidence the truck broke down when it did. But I admit, ever since Irina told me you were coming to the Highlands, I figured I'd see you at some point. You still talk to Mother? Yes, indeed. Though, just the bare minimum. That girl's zeal for her work borders on unhealthy. What did I ever do to turn her into such a workaholic? Alyssa? Anyway, we're all done with our coffee, so let's head on over to the settlement and have a look at that truck. Just wait outside a bit while I grab my tools. Oh, actually, I caught a few good-sized trout. Can you take them over to the settlement when you go? Of course. Well, that was kind of unexpected. So that's the former chairman of the Rhineford group. I knew of him by name, but he's far more light-hearted man than I would have guessed. Indeed, he seems very easygoing. You can say what you really think. You're not going to hurt my feelings or anything. Everyone loves him because he's all laid back and approachable, but mostly he's just capricious and irresponsible. And then, 5 years ago, he just... Never mind. Let's get going. As soon as he's ready, we're heading back to the settlement. Alright, let's wait for him by the garage. Okay, well, seems as good of a place as any to wait for him. This is like really grating on my last nerve now. There was a Gwyn. Oh, you know what? I know where I heard Gwyn. Maybe it wasn't Legend of Heroes. It was Lufia 2. It was the grandfather of Hero in Lufia 2. Or not Lufia 2, Lunar 2. Man, I'm losing my mind here. Should we head back to the settlement? Hey, Gaius, you're on pretty good terms with my grandfather, Dad. Something like that. We've only known him for a couple of years, but all of us in the settlement owe him a lot, myself included. Okay, so we're good to go. Mind if I ride with one of you? Grandfather? You aren't driving? Nah, the engine's been acting up a bit lately, so I'd rather not. Besides, how could I pass up a chance to get to know my granddaughter's classmates a little better? Reen, right? Got room for one more up there? Why did he have to pick Reen? He'd better not be giving him any funny ideas. I'm sure that isn't the case. I'd feel a bit more at ease if he focused more on the reins, though. How's little Sharon doing these days? I heard she recently started working at your dormitory. That's right. I haven't had too much time to get to know her, but she seems really skilled at what she does. Oh, she is, very much so, but more importantly, she's a real cutie. She always has that lovely reserved air, but there's a playful side to her, too. I wish I could sign her up as my own personal maid. That'd be the life. Yeah. But that Emma girl's a really nice too. She's got those glasses, that hair that you want to let it down, and she's a class press material to boot. There's a smoldering homeroom hottie if I ever saw one. Come on, you know you agree with me. Well, I can't really say that I disagree with you, but... if you don't mind my asking, why did you never tell Alyssa that you were here? Tell me, Reen, what kind of girl do you see her as? Well, I'd say she's a really hard worker in a great many respects. Oh, I have no doubt of it. She's good-looking, polite, as well-mannered as any noble's daughter, intelligent, and that all comes naturally to her. It's not some persona she forces on herself. Yeah, I'm amazed at how effortless she makes it all seem. And yet, she has a habit of trying to resolve everything out relying on anybody else for support. I'm sure it hasn't escaped the notice of a canny young man like yourself. It does feel like that sometimes, yeah. She's kind, and her sense of duty compels her to always see things through. But she always keeps everything bottled up, like she never wants to let on to anyone that she needs help with a problem. I'm Alyssa, R, from War. It's not like I'm trying to make a big deal out of it or anything, it's just, if everybody knew, it'd make things awkward between us, and I don't want that. I have a feeling the relations between her mother and I caused her to end up that way. Or to be more specific, the conflict between the two of us. That's why I didn't tell her where I was, but I'll leave it up to her to fill in the details about that. I'm sure that once the two of you are a bit closer, she'll tell you on her own. A bit closer, I have a feeling there's going to be critical misunderstanding going on here. Oh, is that so? I thought there was a little something going on between you two after seeing your name come up one of her letters. Well, we did have that unfortunate accident back at the start of the year, but that's all it was. We eventually got it sorted out, and nothing's really happened since. An accident, eh? Did you accidentally collide with her on your way to school, causing her to drop the toast she held between her sweet lips? And as the dust cleared, did the two of you find yourself sprawled on the ground in an unlikely yet heart-racing position? That's a really oddly specific question, but I don't know what kind of heart-racing position you're... So, something really did happen, didn't it? Now, just tell old Gwyn all about it. I want every last juicy detail. What grandfather says this stuff? Like, I could never imagine my grandfather ever saying any of this stuff. He's too busy talking about fishing and gardening and his boat and how he likes to go to sleep at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hey, isn't that... Ooh, it's those military academy students. I wonder what they're doing all the way out here. Oh well. Looks like things are gonna start getting interesting. Okay, let's get this mission started! Sheesh. Gramps and the others can be so unreasonable sometimes.
I wonder what her deal is. She's so mysterious. She reminds me of Renee, but she's just not evil. Will Grandpa Gwyn help Reen and Alyssa get closer? And what's with all the military barracks out here anyway? Find out next time, and let's play Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and happy watching!